Oh, I wish they made something lighter to take in the park to find those fish. Not looking forward to this heavy thing all year. Huh! What's this? Who are you? Who are you? What's this?
I'm gonna open it and find out.
I guess so. Alright, so we have a brand new package just hot off the press.
It is a Deeper fish finder, so we were really fortunate enough to work with Deeper this year. They sent us a couple of their packages.
So we're going to show you what's inside this awesome box. And over the next few months, we're going to do a review of what's inside this box. Here we go.
What is this? A Deeper Pro Plus 2.
If you've never heard of Deeper, they are a extremely compact and portable fish finder
at an affordable price.
At a very affordable price, yeah, like a really affordable price. So, seeing as we are always doing backcountry trips and we're always trying to cut weight, whether that be in food, different camping gear, we're always trying to shed weight. We're always trying to be as light as possible for going as far as possible. And Deeper was the exact thing we needed.
You know what this says?
What does it say?
3.2 ounces.
So this fish finder is 3.2 ounces. That's crazy.
Less than a quarter pound.
So in the box, there's also the flexible arm mount 2.0. So this is essentially going to be a mount that's going to hold these fish finders to the canoe so we can troll and have a sonar as we're going.
Take a look at the specs on the back. So it's Wi-Fi connected to your phone. So the actual display device is your phone. It has a lithium battery, triple beam sonar, GPS location, and it's 3.2 ounces. So that's pretty sweet. Seal approved. Holy crap, look how small that thing is. That's it. Fits in the palm of your hand. Deeper Pro Plus 2.
Let's see what's inside the flexible arm mount 2.0, Lyle. So this is your full setup for your fish finder. So it has built-in Wi-Fi. You're going to connect the actual device to your phone. So this is going to bring that up on your phone screen. And then you're going to clamp this to whatever part of your canoe you want. Likely the gunnel or the yoke is where you're going to clamp that. And this sits in the water.
And then it just kind of levels itself on the water and just kind of bobs beside you.
Yeah, whatever the waves are doing, it adjusts for it.
Yeah, and then as you troll, reads the depth.
Oh, there's a fish. 20 feet and he's halfway up. Shouldn't be.
That's big.
You got him?
There we go. Got him. Brennan just marked a fish and he bit. I was like, oh, I'm tapping. He's like, oh, you shouldn't be tapping. And I'm like, oh no, that's that fish. Bent the rod over. Fighting a lot better than that other one, but that doesn't mean much. Oh yeah. Big head shakes. Oh yeah.
Oh, jeez.
There he is.
It's got my paddle. Oh, is it ever tighten?
Yeah. Not as big as the other one.
No. In the net, bud.
Got another one in the net. There he is. Look at that guy. All right, we'll get him right back. Yes.
So over the next few months, we are going to be putting this device to the test, and we're going to be putting out a review video, an honest and true. We're going to be putting out an honest and true review video on what we think about the Deeper sonars. We've got, like we said, a lot of backcountry trips planned. We do sometimes 30, 40 kilometers of traveling in a day.
Did you see him?
I saw him grab it there.
friggin' fish.
No way. Followed it into the boat.
Followed it right into the boat. I just had one come right up to the boat when I was reeling in. I snubbed him a little bit, but he might bite. All right, just put on a rattle bait. See if we can't make something happen. Fish on bottom. A lot of fish in this spot. This is probably the most fish we've seen.
Stacked.
Nice one, dude. He came right up and smoked it.
Ugh.
Nice one. Same size, couple pounds.
Ugh. You want the net?
Yeah. Look at him squirrely.
Really dead.
Oh, and he come off. Perfect. All right, we'll let him go. We were trolling around for about an hour and hadn't had really any marks or no action of anything significant. We trolled up and this section here came up to 10 feet, big shoal out in the middle of the lake. And we're like, well, we're jigged it for a little bit. Well, we'll come off on the deep side where the deep hole is over here. So we went off on this side and I marked one, and I thought, oh, I'll just try him, drop the jig on his head, and did that earlier and no fish seemed to be interested, but that one came up and smoked it. So
cutting the weight from about 10 pounds or whatever this is to a pound is going to be a major benefit for us. We are going to be able to move faster, move easier,
for sure,
and just have the capability to have this compact little device.
Oh yeah,
in our pack.
just for the portability,
yeah,
I think is huge.
You can throw it in your pocket.
What a beautiful fish. Nice colors on this one.
All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back, and I am in the middle of a bushwhack right now. You can see the lake I just paddled across behind me, back there. I just finished climbing up the main part of the elevation, and I'm headed in for brook trout.
When you're doing bushwhack lakes like this, you want to cut as much weight as you can out of your gear, because it's friggin' hard. Like, that was a kilometer of just straight uphill. So this right here is what we're working with this year. Another function of the deeper sonar is that you can actually cast it from shore. So I have a second rod with me with some heavier braid, and I'm gonna try and give it a cast out, and I'm going to set my other line with a bobber below wherever it's sitting. So I've casted it out, and now I can see that it's currently sitting in 8 feet of water. There's a nice log out there, and it's windy, so it's going to kind of float around. In this lake, I could literally cast it to the other side of the lake and be able to see it on my phone, as long as you can have that Wi-Fi connection with it. You can cast these suckers out 100 meters, 300 feet from shore, which good luck casting that far, first of all.
Yeah.
Second of all, you can do that, have your phone at shore, and still monitor what's going on underneath your bait. So this is, as far as I'm aware, the only one that is capable of doing that, where you can hook it to your line and have that option to sit on shore and fish and still view what's going on up to 100 meters out in the lake below your line.
Not only does it do that, but it's a good, cheap alternative for ice fishing. This is a deeper review video. We are ice fishing. We've used the deeper open waters. Now it's time to take it onto the hard water and see how well it produces. We think there are some real good benefits to the deeper, and we're out for perch, we're out for crappies, we're out for walleye, we're out for pike, we're out for whatever bites using the deeper as our main source of electronics.
I'm just dropping down a hook, a little minnow, and a sinker. Keep it simple. For the price point on the deeper, lots of different capabilities. You can change your beam angle. So right now, obviously I'm going to have a narrower beam because we're only fishing in 6 feet, and the fish finder is also reading through almost 2 feet of ice. On a traditional flasher or fish finder that you buy for the winter, your transducer goes to the bottom of the ice. So I was curious to see if it was even going to work through. We have probably 20 to 24 inches of ice right now, and this fish finder floats on the top, right? So for the beam to get down the hole, I don't think you would get as wide of a cone angle. When I switch it to that, it looks totally different. Like, it's definitely picking up a lot more interference. I don't think that's your friend in the wintertime. Maybe at first ice. I'm sure if there was a couple inches of ice, you'd be okay. But because of the angle of the beam, I'm going to set it to 7. You can adjust your sensitivity levels right in the app from 0 to 100. So as I said, I'm in 6 feet. I have on just a small hook with a minnow and a sinker. And at 73% sensitivity, this is what it sees. You can also change your color palette. So you can use daytime palette, nighttime palette. I prefer the dark, personally. I think it burns less battery too, probably on your phone. You can pick your fishing mode, so whether you're on the bank, whether you're in a boat ice fishing, or in a bait boat. Gives you all your information on the top panel, your battery life of your phone, the battery life of your device, your deeper, the temperature of the water, the time. Everything you need is right there. There we go. Nice one. I think I just hooked into a pike. I believe. I have very, very light line and a light rod on here, but I was just recording with the deeper. Oh yeah. Must be a pike. I hope I have them hooked good. Yeah, it is a pike. There we go. Right on. Look at that. All of a sudden the perch cleared out on the deeper and this guy came in and just smashed it. All I have is just a little hook and swivel on here. Look at that. That was a lucky hook set that he didn't break me off. Itty bitty little pike, but a beauty. And yeah, all the perch just cleared out. I was watching, playing with perch down there. They were biting lots. And then this guy came in and just smashed it. Let him go. Gone.
Alrighty, so it has been almost a year now since we got the deepers, and you guys saw us filming that intro.
Yeah.
And
We filmed it here.
We did, right here. We figured we would end this where we started it. Had a very good year with the deepers. Tons of good stuff to say about them. Definitely exceeded the expectations we had for them. And I had heard from other people that they were going to be good, but I was skeptical. You know, it's one of those things where it almost seems like a gimmick, but it's not. Like, it actually does work really well.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say definitely the pros that we have, I guess, noticed over the year definitely outweighed the cons. And we're going to kind of run through pros and cons, and some cons. And yeah.
We've already, I guess, discussed a lot of it through the video, but just to sum it up, the main thing for me, and I think for people that fish similarly to us, is the fact that it is extremely portable, lightweight, and compact. So you can put it in your backpack, literally in your pocket, hang it off of any clip on your bag, and take it in with you. And the arm weighs next to nothing too, and it's just a little piece to put in the pack, right? So for guys like us that are doing backcountry trips, this is a very handy tool when you're looking to cut weight.
So another thing that I don't think we really touched a whole lot on is just how friendly the app works. So going between different settings, adjusting your settings, different backgrounds, different, like you can basically have like a 60-40 split, a 50-50 split on your screens. There's just so many options, and it's very user friendly, and even ice fishing, like how fast it is just to adjust a little setting.
Just open your settings and everything's right
to
there.
make it work and customize it for that day. Works out so great.
Yeah, and there's a lot of positive functions within the app. A big one that you and I have really capitalized on is the auto charting.
Yeah, it's very good at mapping out the location and structure that you're fishing. So, like, it's auto charting. It's making a map of that area that you're going over. And a nice thing too is it has like a live tracker of where it's going. So let's say you catch a fish and you notice like there's like a pile of 3 rocks that are right over here. Well, you can go back within probably a foot of that exact same location, and catch those few fish before you move on to the next spot.
Yeah, so that is really handy because after you've fished a hot spot a couple times, you have it all mapped out and you can actually understand why the fish are there or what they're around, what type of structure. What do you think about that price point, Lyle?
Oh man, I think it was like under $300, I believe, right?
$279.99 is the sale price right now for what we got, which is the arm mount and the actual device, the Deeper Pro Plus 2.
Like how do you beat that? It's basically all of the same functions as like basically like a Helix 5 or a Helix 7, like to give you a comparison, and a third of the price.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we're not talking live scopes, right? And it doesn't have like a down imaging, but your standard 2D sonar with your speed, it tells you your battery, tells you the time of the day, gives you the bottom, reads the fish, maps it out with auto charting. It does it all for less than $300.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
So with this great price of $279.99, we are actually now partnered up with Deeper with a discount code. So it's 10% savings if you have, I believe the rule is if you have a fish finder in your cart. So if you're looking to buy a fish finder, you can get everything included, the mounts, the phone mount, all the accessories included, and everything is 10% off. So use code JOES10 at the checkout on their website, and
JOES10.
Yeah, JOES10. Another big bonus with using the Deeper is that your phone is actually your screen. So for us, when we're going on our backcountry trips, we always have our phones as our GPSs if we're trying to navigate throughout the trip, or for taking pictures or some video. So we already have this device, and it actually uses the same charger in the newer iPhones, the USB-C charger, as the Deeper. So you can bring in one battery pack. So this will last you probably 2 to 3 days to charge your Deeper in your phone. Now with a traditional fish finder, you're going to have to bring in like a 12-volt battery, and it is going to weigh an exponential amount more.
Yeah.
So bringing in this with those couple things and a couple cords, you're set for 2 to 3 days of fishing. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Yeah. Now another thing that's a pro, and we've actually had this happen to us, where Brendan was jigging with his Deeper and I was jigging with my Deeper in the front of the canoe, and Brendan was in the back of the canoe. And it got real windy and there was a lot of waves and we were catching a few fish, and my Deeper had actually come unscrewed. Now, if you had a transducer from a normal fish finder and it comes off, it's going to the bottom of the lake. The nice thing with this was the Deeper actually floats, right? You can use it for ice fishing, and like you showed, you can cast it out and it floats. It's like a big bobber. So it actually came unscrewed, and Brendan goes, "Hey, your Deeper's gone." And I look up and it's like 20 feet up. Like, thank God, like this thing
going down the lake,
and we just paddled up and picked it up.
Yeah, that's super handy. I mean, if the whole mount were to fall off, you would probably lose the unit, but that's the same with any other fish finder. If you lost a transducer this summer off your boat, right?
Yeah.
It fell off, and so same sort of deal. But the actual unit floating is very handy for just if you accidentally drop it. A guy like me who's clumsy, I might drop it, right? And so at least it's not gone 50 feet to the bottom of the lake. There also is a kind of a negative aspect to the flotation that I figured out when we were ice fishing with it. And that is the fact that it sits at the top of the hole. So where we are towards the end of the winter, you have 20 to 24 inches, sometimes even more ice. At first ice, it would be fine. But as it gets later into the winter, that flotation is almost a negative compared to having your transducer at the bottom of the ice.
Yeah, because you'll have to changed the cone angle. I think it was 7 degrees.
7, yeah.
So you're not seeing the bottom.
You're
like
not seeing very much.
You're only seeing when the fish is right below your hole. And if you do trout, especially lake trout, right, they could come in from the side. So if you don't get that wide angle to see that fish coming from, 6 or 8, 10 feet away, when they're right on your bait, could be too late. They might not be interested.
Yeah, exactly. So the flotation is kind of a pro and a con. Good in one season, not the greatest in the other. It still works, but definitely more towards the start of the winter, not the end. And then I think we only had maybe a couple cons to say. One was that we noticed sometimes when we were in the backcountry that it would lose connectivity with your phone. Now, sometimes it would just be a matter of rebooting the app. You just flick out and back in, and it would reconnect right away. And that was really the extent of the issue. We would lose bottom sometimes, like on steep drops, and then it would lag and it wouldn't catch up. But very seldomly it did that. So
yeah, the odd time too, like the deeper tells you how fast you're going, and sometimes it'll kind of, like you said, lag a bit, or it takes a minute to catch up, or it kind of adjusts. And most of the time it's pretty accurate. Like within a couple seconds it'll pop up with an accurate speed, but sometimes it like disconnects for whatever reason. But really, like once you kind of learn, okay, at this speed the lure works this way, I paddle this fast, it really is no issue. And you just use it as a reference, basically. Yep, I'm doing 2 miles an hour.
that stuff is all kind of negligible stuff. It can be annoying, but for what the fish finder is, overall, definitely this is an average Joe's approved product. We would recommend it to our friends. Probably going to get more ourselves because they are super handy. Perfect tool for what we need for backcountry fishermen, and definitely worth every single penny. And it's not a lot of pennies because they're a very good price. So yeah, after a year of using the Deeper Pro Plus 2s, we both approve. Average Joe's approved. So use the discount code, buy yourself a Deeper, and you'll see the benefits that we just talked about, and hopefully it'll help you catch lots of fish in the backcountry. Until next time, I'm Brendan.
And I'm Lyle.
And we are the Average Joes. Don't forget to subscribe.